Good afternoon, guys. It's Corissa from Refurb to Invest. Welcome to Monday Morning Insights. I know it's dark outside, it's not morning, it's afternoon, but I just had to share this story because it was amazing what we got through today, and I wanted to make sure you guys know about this. So today's topic is about making sure that you cross-check every single quote that you get before you select your trade, before you select your builder, before you sign any contracts. Before you do anything that is going to involve you saying yes to a trade and exchanging money, cross-check their invoice, their quote. Why? Because it is really easy to walk a trade through and say, hey, can you price this kitchen, that, like this, and then you get a quote and you go, oh yeah, and just go ahead without checking the details there. So if you're pricing a bathroom renovation, are they tiling to ceiling? Is it going to be cornice? Are they replacing the ceiling? Are they including supply of tiles? What allowance have they given you? Because a lot of time they don't nut this all out in detail. So you're thinking you're getting something that you may have spoken about, and then you get to the quote or you get to the job because you said yes without cross-checking. And once you've got to the actual project, you start, and then they say to you, no, I only priced to just tile the border. I'm not going to ceiling. Once you're already in contract, it's a bit hard. So then you go, but that's not what I thought you were doing because you didn't ask the right questions. So please understand exactly what you're asking them to quote. Check line by line. Now, I work with some amazing builders, some amazing trades, and I still have to pick up the phone and cross-check every little thing on their quote because there's still things that they may have missed, or there's things that they've priced but they forgot to write it on the description, or they've wrote new railing, but I'm like, what type of railing? Did you include painting? Oh no, we forgot that. And then my client goes to start the work and there's the things missing. So please, I can't stress enough, if you want to make sure your project runs as smooth as possible, you need to make sure you're cross-checking every line. Exactly what is included. What does that include? I spoke to one of our builders who had priced all the appliances, which I didn't need because I priced them separately so I can get a better deal for the client. So I was like, why is your price like that? And he's like, oh, I included this, and I'm like, oh, no, but that didn't say on his quote. So I'm thinking he's charging X amount for the kitchen, and there was a whole lot of appliances included in that. But I'm like, wait, if that's got appliances, I don't need you to price that. Remove that off the quote. So it's so crucial to go line by line. And this is a detail that we go into as our clients' consultants to make sure that, one, we've actually planned what the strategy is. We give the trades a very detailed scope of works, so they just have to follow it. We want the kitchen like this, so this layout, this type of stone, waterfall, no waterfall, this type of splashback, this size, this color, this finished cabinetry, this tall with a bulkhead, tile like this direction, this type of tile, to ceiling, no cornice, with cornice, so forth. Everything is mapped out because everything makes a difference in the cost. Every material makes a difference in the cost. Is it the right material? Is it what you've asked for? Is the size of what you've asked for? You might have asked for a wardrobe and it's meant to be 2.5 meters and they've put it at 2 meters. So you go to start the job and then they're pricing you, you're thinking you're getting one thing and you get something else. So check off everything, ask the questions, call the trade, go through line by line and check. That's literally what I do with all our quotes. We get them in, I go line by line, write notes all over them. Make sure you're adding GST. That's the biggest thing that people miss. A lot of the trades price it plus GST. So make sure you're calculating that and adding it if they're doing a plus GST quote right on there. So when you're going apples for apples and comparing, you're getting 12 grand here, 13 grand here. Apples for apples, okay, he's cheaper. Don't think that he might be cheaper, but there's things missing off his quote. There's no GST. Check all of that. Check off everything. Call them, sit there for half an hour and go through everything, ask questions. Don't think it's silly to ask them questions. If they want your work, they will answer. If they're not giving you enough information, don't go with them. If they're not giving you enough information, do not go with them. Because if they're not detailed enough to give you spend the time on a quote, they're not detailed enough to give you the right scope of works. They're not detailed enough to do the right workmanship. They'll probably rush it. They'll probably say 1 week and then take 3 weeks. They'll probably go, we're going to come in here and they go later. They're not putting time and pride into their work. I look at everything. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if I see that their quotes are a bit all over the place, there's a lot of stuff missing, I can straight away know what they're going to be like when they start doing the work. So it's got to be detailed. It's got to be itemized. And I purposely watch, so if any of my trades are watching this, I purposely watch how they write their quote and whether they include all my scope, because then that tells me whether they read my scope or not. We put a lot of time into mapping out the scope, so it will save us when we get the quotes back to make sure everything's there. So if I find a whole lot of things missing, I then know that they haven't read the scope, which means they're not putting time in to the detail of what we're requesting, which is going to affect our quotes, it's going to affect our budget, it's going to affect the work that's getting done. It affects everything. That means that I've got to make sure that we haven't missed anything. Otherwise, we go to start the project and there's items missing. So very, very important, go line by line, take time, don't rush, ring, ask questions, make sure all the data is there. And if there's things missing, get them to resubmit their quote with everything on it. So you know you've got everything there and you know exactly what's going to be in your project. That is the level of what we do in our blueprints. So when someone says to me, what does it cost for a blueprint? And I start talking about it, that bit there is just one portion that takes me a good 10 hours. Because by the time I get the quotes in, I go through them, I cross-check them, then I've got to match it from him to him. Then I've got to go, okay, wait, he's missing this, they're missing that. Check my scope. Then I make the phone call, then I ask all the questions. I was on the phone the last couple of weeks with our builders, probably at least an hour each builder going through questions on their quotes. Because we've got some of our big jobs, they're detailed. If I'm missing something, that could be an extra $5,000 to the client after we started work, and that's not how I work. I want everything upfront sorted before we even lock in any contracts with the builder. So the detail of checking that off is crucial. Then once we've checked it off, they've got to wait to resubmit it. I've got to cross-check it again. Do you know how many times I have to cross-check it? Like 3 times, because there's still something that they missed writing even after we just had a meeting. That comes back, we check it again. Cross-check, 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 ask more questions. Okay, cool, now we've got it. Then we collate it all, get all the items priced, put it into our budget, go, okay, this is the options that the client has. Then we present it with all the 2Ds, the 3Ds, the concept boards, the detailed room by room specifications, everything that's part of our blueprint, all together to then present to our client. Here's the visuals of everything we're suggesting. Here's what it is now. Here's what we're proposing. Here's the materials. Here's the colors. Here's this. And now here's the cost breakdown. So our clients can see visually what we're suggesting and then link that right side by side with the actual cost. So they can visualize the spend of this is for that. That is for that. That is for that. Now decide what you want to action and we'll action it. So if you want to get the most out of your project, you don't want to have the headaches. You don't want to have more variations than what you need to, which will affect your budget. Make sure you cross-check everything. Or better still, make sure you have someone like us take care of the whole thing for you, because that's what we do daily. That's what we do best. So we can make sure that nothing's missed, because things, if you're not experienced in renovating, it's really easy to miss things that you didn't know you were meant to do. And then you get started, you're like, oh, I didn't know how to do that. So get some professionals on your side that's going to guide you and hold your hand the whole way through. Call us for an audit. That's the easiest way, cost you nothing, just to get us to see whether there's potential in your property, how we can help, and then show you what money you will save and what our expertise will bring to your plate. It doesn't work for everyone, but if it does, why not take the easy way out and have us help you? I'm Corissa for Refurb to Invest. I'll catch you next week.